What's up guys, it's Will here from W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing this all-new 2022 Hyundai Elantra SE. Alright guys, before we start, I want to give a huge thank you to Brandon Hyundai here in beautiful Tampa, Florida for making this review possible. These guys have an awesome dealership with a really kind staff, so if you're in the Florida area looking for a new car, I would definitely check these guys out, and I'll leave all their information below. So for those of you guys who don't know, the Elantra has been in Hyundai's lineup since 1990, and so this is the 7th generation Elantra, and it was released in 2020. But here for 2022, there are some updates to go over, and this of course is the SE trim, making it the cheapest way to get into the Hyundai Elantra. So the MSRP here is less than $20,000 for the base price before destination, but let's just jump right into it. So the engine is on, so it might be a little bit noisy, but I want you guys to check out these daytime running lights because they work very well with your projector bulb, which is also an LED bulb. But inside over here, you have black housing over here, no chrome trim, which does add to your overall front end aggression. It works with a blacked out grille very well, and it matches this quartz white paint. And this is an option. This is a $400 option, but check out this quartz white paint. It is an absolutely gorgeous metallic, guys. But continuing to the grille, I really like this design. I like these triangular pieces, quite a few triangles over here. You got some openings over here, but this over here, it's completely blocked off. But behind that's going to be your radiator, and yes, this is a radiator because this vehicle comes equipped with a 2-liter dual overhead cam 4-cylinder engine, which makes pretty decent power, about 147 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque, enough to get this car to 60 in about 7.8 to 8 seconds, which not bad for a vehicle that costs less than 20,000 bucks. But overall, check out this front end. I really like that black and white contrast, especially with this quartz white paint. But continuing down, before we go to the wheels, actually, let's check out these little air vents. These are functional. They may not look like it right now, but as we come along back over here, you can clearly see the opening right here. But coming over here to the wheels, so these are pretty small rims. These are only 15s. They're going to be wrapped in 195/65 R15 Kumho Solus TA31 tires. So not the most aggressive setup, but pretty expected here for the base SE trim. Once we take it out for a drive, we'll definitely see how these wheels perform. But my first impressions, just taking it over here to this parking lot, this car has very, very sharp handling from what I've seen so far. But of course, we're going to go into more detail as we get into this drive. And this particular vehicle does have nitrogen-filled tires. But continuing along over here, so you do have a color-matched mirror and a very big mirror, so you do get blind spot monitoring standard over here on the SE trim. Very large glass, takes up the frame pretty well. But continuing over here, we do not get smart access, unfortunately. There's a bird in this tree, she's going crazy. But continuing over here, no smart access, of course, but still does the job. Of course, you don't even have push start in this car. You're gonna have to deal with the old school key fob, but we'll go over that once we go inside. But coming over here to the window sticker, you guys can pause, check out all the standard features. And yes, this vehicle does, of course, have the quartz white paint, which is a $400 option, and carpeted floor mats. And after destination, this car comes out to about $21,400, and still an overall great value, guys. Definitely worth the money. You guys will check it out once you take it out for a drive. Definitely one of the best vehicles in this price point. But one more time, guys, you guys can pause and check out all the features. But let's continue over here. So no, we do not get a push to open gas tank. I'll show you guys where the latch is on the inside. And immediately when we come over here, you do get the same as your Sonata. You have a very well integrated trunk lid, which does kind of act like a deck lid spoiler. They definitely designed this vehicle in a wind tunnel to a degree. Beneath that, you're gonna have your LED taillights, and yes, this whole thing lights up. So at night, it's gonna look really good. And when you're slowing down, it's gonna have a really cool overall brake light design. But beneath that, you got your Elantra nameplate over here. No, not a true A, not a big deal. It's just an upside down V, just one thing I noticed. But you got your rear view camera right here. But let's take a step back and let's check out how this Sonata SE sounds with a 2-liter dual overhead cam engine. All right, guys, so that was, of course, the sound of the 2-liter dual overhead cam 4-cylinder sold by Hyundai. So let's check it out and see what we got. So pretty tough latch to access, and it's really heavy, surprisingly heavy for a small hood. And we're gonna have to deal with the prop rod, but that's expected for a vehicle in this price range. I like when prop rods are located towards the left over here so they're not in your way. But here you have it, guys. This is your dual overhead cam 16 valve 4-cylinder motor. It is pushed to the left quite a bit, so not a big deal that the battery's on the right side. It will offset the weight balance pretty well. But that's about it, guys. This engine makes about 147 horsepower, 132 pound-feet of torque. It should get this thing to 60 in under 8 seconds, which is all you need for a vehicle in this price point. And the handling here, as you'll see once we take it out for a drive, it's pretty impressive. So you can see between your strut towers, you do have not really a true brace, but it is connected between the strut towers, which should tighten out your chassis overall. But let's shut this hood up, take a step back, and let's check out the interior on this 2022 Elantra SE. All right, guys, so stepping inside the Elantra SE. So first thing you notice is you're gonna have hard plastic for the upper part of your door panel. Hard plastic continues down here. However, they did kind of give you some stitching, some faux stitching, which does make it look kind of cool. But for the functionality part where your elbow is gonna be resting, you're gonna have very soft touch materials. So it's nice they gave you that for the areas that you're gonna be using. No Power One Touch for most of your windows, but your driver is a Power One Touch only on the way down. On the way up, it's not Power One Touch, but not a big deal. Over here, you got one of your speakers, your little tweeter speaker, and you got your big speaker down here. No Elantra nameplate over here, but here's your trunk release and your gas release right here. But check out these seats. So very nice cloth seat, very high quality in the middle, very soft, extremely comfortable seats, and pretty stiff on the outside, so they are very supportive as well. Great seat for a cloth seat. They're not power, but you do have height adjustments. You can recline and you can slide it back and forth. But let's take a step inside this Elantra and check it out. So let's just turn down these air settings real quick so you guys can have better sound quality. But here you have it. First thing you notice is over here is, besides the steering wheel, which is classic, fantastic Hyundai steering wheel, you're gonna have your 8-inch touchscreen over here as well. So that's a great feature for a vehicle that costs less than $20,000, guys. Very impressed they offered you this. You do get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so very impressive all around. No automatic climate control, unfortunately, but not a big deal. You kind of expect that with a vehicle in this segment. You don't have any heated seats, no cooled seats, of course, but again, that's expected in this segment. Beneath over here, you're gonna have your, let's turn down this air one more. But over here, you got your 12 volt where you can throw your radar detector in. You got your 2 USB ports right here. Beneath that, no wireless charger, but that is optional on the higher trims. You have a nice little area over here, which is rubberized, where you can throw some stuff. But over here, you got your shifter for the CVT transmission. It does have manual ratios over here, so that's pretty cool. No paddle shifters, of course, not really expected with this vehicle, but you do get a real e-brake, so that's pretty cool over here. And there's a nice little oh crap handle for your passengers over here. You have a camera right here. You can press the button and you can access your rear view camera at any moment. And over here, you got your drive mode select. So your drive modes here are normal, sport, smart mode, but we're gonna leave it in normal mode for now. We're gonna also try sport and see how the differences are. But coming to the steering wheel over here, it's not gonna be leather wrapped, but it's gonna be a very soft plastic material. Great 9 and 3 slots, truly excellent. Fantastic bolsters for the 10 and 2, so your 10 and 2 position is really perfect, and the steering wheel thickness overall is great. And I love these Hyundai steering wheels because not only do you have such a perfect grip for your 9 and 3, 10 and 2, you also have a little arm slot over here for when your arm is on the armrest over here. You can easily grab the steering wheel in a comfortable position. Same with the other way around. When your arm's over here on the armrest, you can have a little grab handle over here. And if you're one of the drivers that like to have your arm on your leg while you drive recklessly like this, the steering wheel also accommodates it for you. The steering wheel also has active steering on the steering wheel. You also have your mode select right here. You can adjust your infotainment. We'll see that in one second. But over here on this side, you have your sound settings. You can skip your song, you can do your voice commands and your phone settings. But let's check out this little infotainment setup. So of course you can see we have a digital speedometer right now, and let's see what else we got. So you also have your tire pressure that you can only see when you're driving. You got your driver's assistance settings over here. You can see your lights, door settings, sound, convenience, and all those overall settings. But let's see what else we got. So here's your digital speedometer. We're back to the beginning. You also get your drive info. You have accumulator info, fuel economy, of course, auto stop. You can time how long you've been driving your car. And you can also see your drive mode select at any moment. But we're gonna leave it in the digital speedometer for now. It's my favorite mode. But let's check out this infotainment over here. So you can go to your home, you can press your menus, you can see your user manual, you can see your setup settings. But overall, that's about it. The main part about this infotainment is simply having Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But as far as vehicle settings, you can see your automatic ventilation, you can see your recirculation settings. So not too important overall. The Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are the main parts of this infotainment. But over here, of course, you got your 2 cup holders. They're not rubberized, but this one over here, it's much larger than this one. So just pointing that out. As far as the armrest, it's not the softest, but it is soft enough. It's much softer than my armrest in my Camaro. I know I complain about that quite a bit. So pretty good armrest overall. You open it up, very, very decent space. You can easily fit a 6-pack of cans in there, maybe a 7th can over here. Probably not going to fit bottles because it's not the deepest center console, but you could easily fit a 6-pack, maybe even 7 cans. But let's shut this thing up. We'll throw this little piece of paper back in there. But let's shut that thing up. Let's check out this glove box. It's not damped, but it is pretty large. Of course, it's not lined with felt, but you can easily fit like 12 to 15 license plates in there. So coming up, you do have these air vents. I like how they integrate throughout the entire cabin. But coming up top, of course, your dashboard, it's actually going to be soft touch material. Now that's surprising. I was not expecting the dashboard to be soft touch. Up top over here, hard plastic, and for the frame, also hard plastic. But on the outsides of your dashboard, it's going to be soft touch, but over here also hard plastic. But overall, pretty impressive interior for a vehicle that costs less than 20,000 bucks for a base price. Let's check out the back seat and see what we got back there. All right, so stepping in the back seat on the Elantra SE, of course you don't expect to have any soft touch materials on the door panel, but what I would expect to have a little bit soft touch over here for the armrest, but you're not even gonna have that. The entire door panel is just gonna be hard plastic. Power window, of course, you got some storage over here, and you can easily fit a 12-ounce bottle right here. But checking out these seats, similar material, they're gonna be pretty high quality cloth, very nice seats, but they're not gonna extend all the way to the door frame. Not a big deal. Let's step inside and just see the overall space we got back here. So I'm 6 feet tall sitting behind my seat settings. I still have a couple inches of legroom, so pretty impressive overall. Definitely one of the more spacious vehicles in the compact sedan segment. So as far as space and usability, this vehicle is great, especially for the price point. Behind the seat, you do get little cargo nets behind both seats. No air vents, unfortunately, and you do have a pass-through over here, which is odd for a front-wheel drive car, but not a big deal. No center armrest over here, unfortunately, but these seats do fall down. But that's about it for the back seat, guys. I have plenty of headroom. I have at least like 2 inches of headroom. So anybody under 6'3" should be able to comfortably sit back here behind their seat settings. But that's about it back here, guys. Let's check out the trunk real quick and then take this car out for a drive. All right, guys, so let's check out the trunk over here. So you are gonna be crushing your cargo with these hinges, not a big deal. Just keep that in mind when packing this car. Anything that's higher than that will probably get crushed. But taking a step back, you can check out the opening. Very impressive sized opening. Not quite as large as the new 2022 Civic, but still very large opening. You can fit just about anything you would need back here. But going inside over here, very deep, pretty deep for this segment. And I love how it goes in about a foot, so your stuff's not gonna be really flying around back here. But overall, guys, we'll take one last step back. Pretty good overall cargo space. Let's shut this trunk. Oops. Take a step back. And let's take this car out for a drive. But all right, guys, so now we've just about seen everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the 2022 Hyundai Elantra SE. Let's take it out for a drive. And again, this steering is fantastic. It's super direct, very sharp, and the handling on this car, considering this vehicle's very skinny tires, is truly remarkable. I can only imagine how much better this vehicle would handle on the N-line trim. But on this speed bump right here, very nice ride. You don't really hear much at all. Very quiet, very refined. You have a little bit of a smaller speed bump right here. Let's check it out. Yeah, it's great, guys. Very impressive. Around these small bends, you really can feel how sharp the steering really is. We're in sport mode right now. It does make the steering a little bit sharper. We'll try it out in normal, where the steering is noticeably lighter, but it's still just as direct. Very impressive overall. So I guess you would drive mostly in normal mode, but I personally would choose sport because this CVT does still keep the lower revs, while also being more responsive in sport. But just stepping out here about half throttle, pretty impressive, guys. Not half throttle, about third throttle, but it still pulls pretty well. You go to about 3,000 RPM and it does pick up speed very, very well. But stepping out onto this roundabout in normal mode, pretty good throttle response, but I'm sure that's going to be increased in sport. But just coming around here, guys, this steering and handling, it's so good for a car that costs less than $20,000. Very impressive. You can push it through these turns very well. It doesn't complain at all. It's actually quite fun. But we're gonna let's slow down a little bit and try the rest of this roundabout in sport mode. So okay, we're in sport. Ooh, immediately much stronger response. Wow, that was noticeable. And the steering, much tighter. Wow, this is almost like, this is sports car steering borderline. Very, very nice. Ooh, that bird was on a suicide mission. But okay, we're gonna turn out over here on this road right here, sharply into the turn. Wow, there is no understeer. And watch this. This is one of the worst section of roads you'll see, and it handles it like it's nothing. Huge puddle, boom, nothing, like it's not even there. Throwing it into this tight turn, it feels so good, guys. And I'm about half throttle. We're out, guys. It has very good power overall, and it does have the synchronized ratios. It's not a true 8-speed transmission, of course, but it does have line-driven ratios, so it is gonna feel like a traditional automatic. We're gonna slow down so the semi-truck doesn't kill us. Wow, he's really taking up some space. But okay, we're gonna throw it in pretty sharply in this 90-degree hairpin right here. And watch this, boom, no understeer. It handles it so well. And coming out about a third throttle. Great torque, very impressive car overall, guys. But okay, we got some open road. We'll try some flat out acceleration off the line right here. Boom, pretty good off the line, guys. Pretty torquey. And once you get to the higher RPMs, it really starts to pick up because this is a dual overhead cam engine. Pretty regular characteristic of engines like this. The CVT doesn't like going up really quickly, but not a big deal. Throwing it in one more time. This is what this car is all about. The handling is so good for a vehicle under $20,000. It's truly incredible what Hyundai's done. I'm sure it has something to do with that strut tower brace part of their structural design. But whatever they did, I'm definitely impressed. But okay, this time let's make a left onto this roundabout. And guys, it's very responsive off the line. It feels really good. And I usually do not like CVTs, but the way this CVT is tuned, it really works. I'm very impressed with this CVT. It's definitely one of the better ones that I have used. And you can see this handling, guys. It stays unbelievably flat. It feels so confidence inspiring through these turns. It's almost like a sports sedan. So I'll be super interested in trying out the N-line trim. That car is probably really impressive, but over here for this trim over here, it's still very nice. But we'll step over here, make this left right here. If there's no cars, let's go. There's a truck backing in, so we're not gonna be able to go on these bumps fast, but we'll do them on a normal speed if he lets us pass. He is. Okay. But yeah, guys, I'm really impressed with this car. It handles very well. It's pretty quick. The 0 to 60 is gonna be quicker than 8 seconds, and it just feels so good through these turns. We'll step on the gas right here. It puts you in your seat a little bit. It's surprisingly quick. It's much quicker. I feel like it's much quicker than the Civic Sport, and it's probably quicker than the Toyota Corolla. I haven't driven the new Corollas, but I'm sure it's definitely quicker than those cars. But all in all, guys, we're gonna bring this car back to Brandon Hyundai. Huge thanks for them for making this review possible. Great car overall. They really improved this car. I can see why they wanted me to try out the SE trim. Really impressive overall, but that's about it. I had a great time making this video for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you're new. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. I have endless gratitude for all the subscribers. You know the channel is not possible without you guys. But if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how the videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. But other than that, we're going to finish this video off on a little highway over here just to test out this vehicle's active steering. So let's step out over here. Press the active steering button. Oops, and let's test it out. So no hands on the wheel at all. Let's see what. Oh, you see that? It really put me back into the lane. It may have took its time, but it still did it nevertheless. And as you can see, no hands on the wheel. It's doing everything for me. But let's return this car to Brandon Hyundai again. Huge thanks for them for making this review possible. Very impressive car. But I hope all you guys have a great day.